Good evening, collectives, and welcome back to Will's Cartomancy Tarot. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions, okay? What I like to do for you guys this evening is to discuss a very important issue, particularly for those of you who feel that your clock might be ticking and you just really don't want to wait around forever to get pregnant or to either go the natural way of conceiving or to just consider in vitro fertilization here. So, what I like to do is to discuss seven important issues here. The first issue that I'd like to address with you guys, or we're going to be discussing, is should you freeze your eggs now or should you wait a year or so? The second question, do you want to find a partner with whom to have a baby before conceiving? Okay. The third, should you go it alone now or perhaps wait a while? The fourth, if you go it alone, will you actually find a partner who will welcome a ready made family? The fifth question, what are the advantages of going alone? The sixth, then we're going to discuss the drawbacks of going it alone. And lastly, we're going to discuss what friends and family will perhaps offer you support if you do decide to go ahead in the way that you're deciding. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to shuffle up these cards here to see what comes out here. And then we're just going to go on and get started. And I'm going to first start off, ladies and gentlemen, by examining the cards that um, falls to the bottom of the deck. So, Spirit, what message do you have for me to tell collective regarding this issue? Okay? Because what we would want here, hope for, is information to kind of assist when, collectives might have no other choice but to consider other options before making a decision here. So what we're going to do here is that I'm going to go on and just shuffle up a few cards here and just to see what spirit has to say to you when you really want a baby or you really want to conceive, ladies and gentlemen, but you're feeling that you cannot wait forever. Okay, so let's look at the bottom here cards here. I actually pulled four, so let's see here. We have the magician. Okay, we also have the sun. We have the Empress, and we have the Hierophant. Okay, so with the Magician, that certainly shows, ladies and gentlemen, that, and I know this reading is particularly more suited or geared towards you females out there, but it certainly shows that you do, in fact, have the ability to solve problems. And perhaps for you males out there, too, that you could also kind of, this reading might also be useful for some of you. Okay? So it is, in fact, a positive omen. And it shows that you can certainly manifest, just as this magician is showing here, whatever it is that you really desire, whatever it is that you really want here. And it shows, ladies and gentlemen, that destiny is certainly in your favor. You have all of the tools, all of the resources that you need to really actualize this goal. And it shows good health, it shows vitality, as well as strength and courage. So it's time to really have faith. I'm getting here with seeing that particular card there. And really learn to focus your energies on the goal ahead. And it shows that if you continue to be uh, determined, look, you have the sun here that follows that. Success is ahead, imminent success. And of course, what is the Empress? The Empress is the archetype of motherhood. Okay, she's very nurturing, so it shows that you can make a best informed decision, and it shows that many of you are contemplating, kind of going against tradition here because this is the higher font. So it shows, a sense of you going against tradition and how you want to conceive, okay? So now let's address your first question that we have here on the list is, should you freeze your eggs now, ladies and gentlemen, or wait a year or two, okay? Now, of course, this question is more for you females out there, okay? So we have the Knight of Cups here. So that is a resounding yes card. And this is because I see many of you going through an emotional type period, particularly, and this reading is valid this entire year, okay? Particularly this year with several prospects I'm getting pursuing you, all right? And your intuition will, in fact, tell you, or it is already perhaps telling you that this, it's telling you that this is perhaps the best path forward for you, because I feel that you're gonna, for those of you who are interested in pursuing, this path here, I see that you're gonna be kind of speaking to counselors, you're gonna speak to therapists, and they're gonna kind of tell you some of the same things here that I'm kind of getting here. Okay, and then after kind of looking at that card, you move on to seeing your second card here, and so addressing your second question here, what we're going to look at is, do you want to find a partner? Do you want to find a partner that, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Now, do you want to find a partner with whom, really to have a baby before you really, conceiving? Okay. Now you have the hangman. All right. So it's kind of, funny with that card here, because this is a very neutral card. So I feel that many of you at this point, I feel that you are neither here nor there when it comes to that question here, because this card kind of keeps you kind of tied up in limbo. All right. And it also shows you that it kind of changes your perspective in matters. Okay. And it causes you, ladies and gentlemen, particularly you ladies, to really adapt to your current situation as is, and simply, really, as I said, breaking away from the conventional way of doing things here, just as with that Hierophant. Okay. And it's known, kind of like, as I said here, it's also known as a, it looks like I said, some type of counselor is gonna, come into purview here also. But it also shows you being flexible with your decisions as well. Okay? So now let's move on and address your third question. Should you go it alone now, or should you wait a while? Okay? We have the Knight of Swords there. So that card is a no card. So that's the answer to that question is no. I feel that it might be best for some of you to wait a while, because the Knight of Swords tend to charge in things and it usually makes irrational decisions. So this is telling you, don't rush into this. I feel, don't let temptation and stress get the better of you. Okay, and try not to be single minded here. Okay, and many of you might need to get more advice before making a decision, because if not, you might, kind of make a haphazard decision that you might regret. Okay? Understand that with that Knight of Swords, too, he has a difficult time with his emotions, or her emotions in your case. So follow your head is key here. You can't really trust your intuition. I mean, not your intuition, but you can't really follow your heart because it may be unrealistic. Follow your head. Use common sense. Be realistic. Okay? So let's move right along and look at your fourth question here, is that if you do decide to go it alone, will you find a partner who will, in fact, welcome a ready made family? Okay? And look what you have here. You have the King of Cups. So that's a resounding yes. Because as it turns out, you're going to definitely meet someone, connect someone with who will suit your needs quite perfectly. Perhaps this person might also be a father already, because this is a very fatherly type card. It shows that this person is going to be very trusted. It could be male or female, it doesn't matter, with however, considering your situation here. Okay? The person is going to be very sensitive and empathetic, very caring, and very nurturing. So this really gives a good sign that, it seems that, really, it seems whatever option or decision that you're making here is going to lead to success, I'm getting. Okay? So let's examine, let's look at your fifth discussion point here. What are the advantages of if you did decide to go it alone here? All right? You have strength. Okay, so with strength, it certainly shows, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to learn a lot from the entire process here. It shows that, you know, that despite whether you go it alone or not, you do have the inner fortitude, the inner strength, the reserve to overcome anything. Okay, you can get through this situation here. Okay, it will make you more confident. Many of you might even feel like like a heroine in some way that I'm getting. Okay, so let's move right along to your sixth question. So, what are the drawbacks of going alone here if any of you consider to do that? You have judgment, all right? And it's just very, very, very interesting how the cards are kind of falling for this reading here. So the drawbacks are that you might constantly criticize yourself if you decide to go, in a more unconventional way here, you know, and you're going to criticize yourself for not waiting and not conceiving a natural way, you know. Also, a drawback might be you having to kind of make a painful decision about what you're presently doing for a living career wise. You may have to change employment, okay? You may even have a hard time letting go of old patterns like procrastinating or really feeling lonely or regretful while going through this process. And let's look at your last question here is what friends and family members will offer you support if you did decide to go alone here? You have the lover here. So what I feel here again, this is a positive card because it's all about balance, unity, as well as harmony. It's all about a heartfelt connection. So I feel that indeed your family as well as friends will offer support with whatever direction that you decide here. And I feel how also too that if many of you have had problems with family and friends, I think that they're going to be very supportive to you and your decision, but it's going to be left up to you because again, there are divergent paths that you can take, either to move forward with perhaps freezing your eggs or just wait the natural way here. And it seems that either way will bring you the success that you seek here, but you're too impatient, right? So it's just to understand here that this is what these cards are kind of suggesting here. Okay, so what I like to do here in closing is to just leave you with a message, collective, a message just simply meant for you here. I'm going to go on and shuffle up um, my postcard here, and I'm going to read you a message that I feel that is simply meant for you. And this reading again is valid until the end of this year. So, Spirit, what final message would you like for me to share with collectives? Okay, something that would give them thought or something to focus on as they move forward in their quest to establish a family. What a message would you like for me to share with them? Okay. And here we go. I'm going to read it as it is written. Okay. Dearest you, we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth into existence. Love is without conditions. It is based in reverence and a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. We just adore you over here. Okay? So collect this. This is what I have for you. I like to hear your comments regarding this reading. Okay? Again, if it has resonated with you guys or if it resonates, be sure to like and share and send it to those that you may think perhaps might benefit from this reading. Okay? If you'd like a more personal reading, you can certainly contact me at will.brown at watconsultinginc.net. I'll also be posting a few more additional readings on this subject for you guys too. Just to give you a sense of the some of the things that you might want to consider, particularly when you're considering, having a child or either freezing your eggs or whatnot. Okay, so have a nice day, and I look forward to hearing your comments. All right.